Hello everyone, my name is Beckett and welcome back to the channel. And today in Division 2, we're going to be going over the global event, the Guardians. This is going on, it just came out Tuesday and it is really fun and there's a lot of important reasons to go through. And there's some little hidden details that the game doesn't tell you and we're going to get into all of that. But before we begin, if you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe. And if you like the video, smash that like button. Alright, so let's hop into this global event details. So this one is called Guardians, and once you activate it, and make sure you activate it or you're not going to get any rewards, you will first get a cosmetic rewards, and now every time we go out into the open world, the only place that this will not be affected is Dark Zone, Conflict, Expedition, and Raids, but everywhere else, and honestly, I would just stay in DC. There's really no reason to go to New York at all. Or ever. So whenever you run into a group, or let's say we're doing a mission, there is going to be a guardian. It's going to have a big yellow thing above their head. We're going to want to kill that enemy, and it's going to buff us in different ways, and we'll get into that in just a second. But you're always going to want to make sure we keep that buff up, because if we don't, we can't kill any other red enemies. Literally, our damage is not going to do nothing. They're going to be completely immune. Although the buff only lasts for a short time for us to kill the other enemies, it's very easy to keep it up. We can kill another guardian, or we can finish off any of the enemies that no longer have the immunity, and it's going to keep that buff going. It doesn't stack, but it will just always keep that buff, and we want to try to keep that rolling. Now, keeping the buff is good because we can kill other enemies, but we also get some insane perks. We get weapon damage bonus, a rate of fire bonus, a reload time, and also it is going to restore our armor, and it's going to remove any of those immunities. Basically, it's just going to keep that buff up, so it will be like we had just killed a guardian, and if we can keep that rolling, there'll be times where it will drop down, but that's okay, not a problem. A few things to mention that the game does not tell us is every time you kill an enemy, a nice little grenade will drop, and it's got a nice little radius. So if you are running and gunning using Hunter's Furies or something, be careful, because I died a lot to that, especially when you come to those spawn points. It's like 10 grenades going off at once, and I was playing in challenging mode and they were actually hitting pretty hard, so I'm pretty sure their damage is buffed as well. Now, when it comes to groups and matchmaking, make sure you are the leader of the group, or the leader of the group has the event active if you are trying to do this. And when you go into matchmaking, you will only be match made with people doing this event. Don't worry, it's not going to be a long matchmaking. There's usually a lot of people doing this. A lot of people want to get the rewards, and that's an important thing, and we're going to get into that in just a second. I already touched on location. Just stay in Washington, DC. Go into random matchmaking. I would say challenging, hard, whatever the challenges demands, and you'll have a really easy time. This is a really fun event, and honestly, I might just keep it on just to play it, just because the rate of fire and the damage bonus, the things you can do with different builds, is pretty fun. Now, before we hop into the best builds and best practices for this global event, I do want to add one thing. It seems like the loot is dropping like crazy with this event active. I don't know if it was just me, but I did about 2 or 3 missions on challenging, and I was getting about 20 to 30 drops for each mission. Maybe I just got lucky and RNG was on my side today, but it's just one thing to mention. Let me know in the comments how your results vary. And when it comes to builds, any like Hunter's Fury build will work. Skill builds are out the window, but really where the fun comes in is when you bring in an LMG to the equation with that rate of fire, the damage, the reload bonus, all of that. It becomes insane. I started running a Striker LMG, Pestilence build, and it was insane. Pestilence is stacking up way faster than it actually should, and it is just dropping everything in the mission. You should really try out an LMG build. You are going to have a lot of fun, and I have been having a lot of fun just running that LMG, running that Hunter's Fury. Just remember, when you're running around, those grenades do hurt, and they're pretty much a one shot. Now, most of the challenges are fairly easy, and you're going to have no trouble. You won't really have to change skills or do anything, but there are a couple tedious ones, and I always like to say, go to the Federal Emergency Bunker mission. Just do that first little part. One, you have to use the deflector shield, and it's really kind of a pain if you're just doing it in regular missions and you're playing with your teammates or your friends. It can be a pain, so if you go in there solo, you can get these things done really quick, and in like 5 minutes, all the tedious challenges are done. And the other ones, I think I'm already like 20 or 30% done, and I only did like 2 missions, and I wasn't even going after it, so you are going to have an easy time this week. Now let's take a look at the challenges. Most of them are pretty easy. Eliminate guardians, eliminate hostiles with the guardian buffs. There's the hardest ones that I've seen so far is eliminate guardians with the deflector ballistic shield. That's why I said just go to federal emergency bunker, pop that out, run that out. You can just do it on hard, normal, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Other than that, there was fire ones. I would say just pull out Eclipse protocol build. You can go ahead and check out my build videos. I have a lot of different builds to work out, and most of the LMG and the Eclipse protocol is going to work perfect for that. I will leave a link or an end card and you can click on that. The other one that wasn't really too much of a trouble that I see is the eliminate hyena elites, but it was only 25 elites, so that's not really going to be an issue. You will probably be able to crank that out just doing the regular missions, and you'll run into elite missions, and you're always going to run into hyenas no matter what. But if you really want to get it done quickly, just go ahead and head over to a CP. It doesn't really matter the difficulty. If you run into like challenging or hard, you're going to run through it really quick and wipe out those elites, and you can probably finish in 5 to 10 minutes with most of the elites. But honestly, I would just do missions and do everything passively and just kind of look what you have left and what rewards you are looking to get. And if you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. You don't always have to go to 10, but moving forward in TU12, I would suggest that. But if you are really just looking for those cosmetic rewards, going to 10 is always a must. Now, when it comes to rewards, we will automatically get a nice little cosmetic reward when we start, and there will be one at the end when we finish. If you're into that thing, that's great. I like to collect them, but I don't always go after every single one. Now, the most important thing, if you are just looking for gear and that's it, and you just want the gear, you're not worried about the crafting caches or any of that stuff, honestly, I would just go up to tier 6, get that named cache. I always say this because you can get named items. It doesn't matter where it is, any named item in the game, as long as it's not raid specific. So if it's something that only drops in the dark zone, great thing is like the Dark Winter, one of the best SMGs in the game, at least for PvE. I don't like it for PvP only because on kill effect, but getting that perfect killer is amazing, and it is worth grinding out these named caches. And moving forward in TU12, we're going to have a lot more ways to do that, but always doing this is just, it's a free named cache, can't really go wrong. Now when it comes to the other stuff, you have like season caches, and that's going to be any of the seasonal items. So Bellstone Armory and Hunter's Fury is this season going on. So if you're still looking for a good roll, usually when you open those up, they're really good rolls from like heroic to legendary tier. Usually you're going to see close to max roll and really good rolls. Sometimes it's just garbage, and that's just the way of RNG. Now, if you're looking to get prepared for TU12, this is when these global events really come in, and we're going to be looking at these recal caches, crafting material caches, all of that stuff. Now, they said when TU12 comes out that there's also going to be the optimization stuff inside of these crafting caches and recal caches. I'm saying save it just because you're going to need those extra crafting materials. If we open it and we get optimization station crafting materials, that's a win-win. But honestly, I would just save these caches, wait till we need them so we can start crafting and doing our stuff for our optimization station in TU12, because this stuff is really going to come in handy. You can just keep it in your little inbox in your inventory, or you can keep it in your mailbox. Now, that's all I got for the global event, but I hope you guys enjoyed. This is actually a really fun one, and honestly, take out that pestilence, put on like a 3-piece striker set. I'll leave a link if you want to check out the build that I was using for it with the LMG pestilence, and everyone is going to have full stack pestilence. It's really fun, and I hope you guys have a great day. If you're looking for more build tutorials, news, everything for new players to old and everything in between, go ahead and check out my channel. And again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys.